Hearthsiders look more traumatized than a beast of burden after a hurricane.
What? Why would you say that?
I would think someone who grew up in the wake of war would recognize the signs. Disorganized and unable to triage their own problems. They're overwhelmed. Suspicious of us despite our clear good intentions, suggesting paranoia. And while their leader is in deep denial of the very real crisis the Enclave is in, the others accept it. They've been stewing in turmoil for so long, it's become their new normal. And it's probably more comfortable for them than the prospect of change.
You're right. They do remind me of some veterans back in Carnhaven.
Saw it 1,000 times over while working in Udea. Aurea may not want to hear it, but these people are completely lost in their crisis.
What makes you say that?
Aurea has a case of hero worship when it comes to the Enclave. She can be blinded by it sometimes.
Huh.
It's not to say great things didn't happen here. But at the end of the day, the Hearthsiders aren't gods. They're fallible. Just like us. Bryn, I'm glad you're here. I need to talk to you.
What's going on? You look pretty tired.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just... about those 90 Drake scales. I know Aurea said we don't need them, but she just doesn't understand. It's dangerous out here, you know? Especially now that these Surgeborn are loose. We need to be prepared for anything. It's just gnawing in the back of my head. Do you think you could do it?
Seriously, when's the last time you slept?
Kashar don't need as much sleep as Ashar or Casil.
But you need some sleep.
It's been a while, maybe 10 days, or a week. I'm fine.
I'm guessing Aurea doesn't know you want me to go Drake hunting. Do you really think it's a good idea for us to go behind her back?
It looks bad, but she just doesn't see what I'm seeing.
To be honest, I'm not sure I see it either.
Please, just trust me.
You haven't told me why we need them, or better yet, why we need 90.
We want the best gear and weapons, don't we?
So Sola asked for these?
Not exactly. They have other uses too.
Kaz, you need to tell me what's really going on here. I want to help, but the Drake scales? The Weaver Band is okay. More than okay. We're in the best shape we've been in since we entered the Enclave, now that we've made contact with the Hearthsiders. Besides, the caravan is looking pretty full. It's not making sense.
You think I'm insane?
No, of course not.
Era's breath. I shouldn't have brought this up. Ugh. But you just don't understand. Everyone could die if I don't... It would be my fault.
Whatever this is, please just tell me what's going on.
No. I shouldn't have burdened you. Sorry, just... go.
But Kaz...
I can't talk about this anymore.
Casmin is not okay. And I don't think bringing her more stuff is the answer. I'd better talk to Aurea. Hey, Aurea. About Casmin.
I know. I'm worried too. So is the rest of the band. Let's talk at the archive, privately. I'll join you and Lane in a moment.
All right.
It's safe to say Casmin hasn't been acting like herself. She's always been tightly wound, but this is something else.
Bryn, she seems more open with you than most. Can you describe in detail what's abnormal about her behavior?
She's begging me for more supplies, even though the caravan is chock full.
Not that we could tell, because she's covered it up.
More than that, she just seems distressed. She's always talking about worst-case scenarios, and lately it's like she's convinced we're all going to die.
I have heard rumors of abnormal behavior developing in Kashar that could be linked to this.
What kind of rumors?
In polytheistic beliefs that are pervasive in the southern part of the Maida, there is an affliction known as Ira's Plague. The sufferer is haunted by twisted visions of death and pain. The goddess of justice, Ira, won't allow the sufferer inner peace until they repent through scrupulosity.
Scrupulosity? What is that exactly?
Oh, my apologies. I forget most people don't follow UD in eschatological study. Scrupulosity can be best described as a series of repetitive acts that one is compelled to do. For example, if Casmin is plagued by relentless images of our band dying from exposure,
She might send our point out over and over again to retrieve supplies.
yes, in order to dispel the horrific visions.
Are you seriously suggesting Casmin is... what? Possessed?
Of course not. I'm confident that this is merely a stigmatized phenomenon that could not be explained through facts or science. So the populace explained it through religious folly instead.
Any ideas what facts could explain it?
Not yet.
Kashar. What does Ira's plague have to do with them?
While most see Kashar as a celebrated merging of the two cultures, some fringe sects disagree. They believe the wider lineage simply leads to more ancestral sin that must be atoned, and thus only Kashar can be afflicted.
Really? Where do you land?
The concept of impure lineage is clearly hogwash, but I suspect the affliction could somehow correlate to the Kashar's unique physiology.
I didn't realize Casmin was spiritual. Is she really trying to hide these visions from us?
Though not devout herself, Casmin grew up with a strict Ashar mother.
You're right, she did.
It's possible Casmin's affliction was a point of shame or contention between them. Perhaps she fears rejection if she shares her experience with us.
All right. Casmin is suffering. We need to do something about it.
And preemptively? No exorcisms?
As I said, this is likely nothing more than a condition that has been stigmatized by religion. A scientific explanation must exist, and thankfully, we are in the heart of progressive thinking.
You think the Enclave could have done research on this?
Makes sense. Where should I start looking?
The steps in the upper city is where I'd start. Between the main building of the spire and the atrium used to stand a school for alchemists. From your explorations, the surge hit that area pretty hard, but some of the building may still be standing.
Great. What am I looking for?
Maybe the name of someone who suffered like Casmin, or a healer who treated the condition. If you find someone like that, you'll want to search the areas of the city where they spent time. Ira's plague is wildly misunderstood across the Maida. If we could find a treatment, it could help more than Casmin.
You're right. I'll start with the steps, then expand my search.
When's the last time anyone saw her sleep?
It's been weeks. Is that normal for a Kashar?
No.
Kaz, you know you can talk to us about what's going on, right?
Nothing's going on. I'm fine, I promise.
You don't seem fine, though.
It's just, no one seems to understand how important the Ashpeak Drake skills are, and bad things are going to happen if we don't... You know what? I just can't talk about this right now. I'm sorry.
So, Aurea, what do you make of the Enclave Council?
Their living history. What they've seen, what knowledge they must have preserved. All this time, they've been here, holding down the fort. It's great you've offered to help the Axle and the Spindle. Just be careful you're not going over the eye's head.
I get it. I'll watch out. We're here to work together, not make enemies.
That's good to hear. He's led the Enclave during a crisis. The rules change. He knows more about the Surge, the Enclave, and arguably even magic. Because while we've been outcasts, he's been here, at the heart of our culture. It's something we need to respect.
I'll try.
Good.
Hey, you all right?
Yes. There's something I should have told you, so I'll just come out and say it. I was born in the Enclave.
How is that possible?
Oh, luck or tragedy, depending on your perspective. Before I was born, my mother and father lived here happily for several years. But they decided it would be better if my mother raised me with my grandmother and great-aunts for the first few months of my life. So she left with me when I was just a hatchling, with every intention to return.
But the surge happened.
The life I should have had was lost for good. Because of all this, I never knew my father. I don't even know his name.
Does your family have something to do with your attachment to the Enclave?
Being here has meant a lot in some ways, and in others, it's very different from what I expected. Meeting the Hearthsiders was a lifelong dream. But the circumstances of our encounter? Not what I'd envisioned.
Knowing now that this is your birthplace, I can see why that would be disheartening.
This was meant to be my home, after all.
This is definitely a twist. I feel like you could have told me sooner.
I am sorry for that. You need to be able to trust me.
So why hide it?
Talking about difficult and private matters is not my strong suit. And frankly, I rarely see the point in dwelling on the past.
Isn't it a little strange your mother never told you his name?
She was separated from him so suddenly. She had no chance to say goodbye. My mother is a strong woman, but whenever I asked about him as a child, she could only manage a few words before her face would crumble. She found it too painful to discuss, and I never wanted to pry.
But now?
I can't help but wish I knew who he was.
Is it common for Oberon hatchlings to be raised apart from their fathers?
No, but it is common for extended family to be involved in the raising of children. As you know, I come from a long line of weavers, many of whom traveled in caravans their entire lives. It was apparently quite a shock when my mother fell for a Hearthsider.
So your parents were looking for a compromise when it came to raising you?
Exactly. And I wouldn't trade my childhood on the road. My great-aunts and my grandmother made me who I am, after all.
Still, you missed out on your father. It's natural to wonder about him.
I suppose.
So, we're going to find out who your father was.
You would help me?
Of course. Maybe Lane would have some ideas on where to start.
Actually, I had an idea myself. The Spindle mentioned a statue of my mother. It's clear the Enclave commemorated their champions. I can't shake this feeling my father is among them.
You think there's a statue of your father?
I know it sounds strange, but the handful of times that my mother spoke of him, she described him as this great hero. Since she was one herself, is it so crazy to think she might have meant that literally?
Maybe not. I can scope out the statues in Upper Denevron for a resemblance, if that's what you want.
Good. And thank you.
Aurea, I'm curious. Why the sudden interest in finding out more about your father?
He was trapped in the Enclave my entire life. This is the first chance I actually have to find out who he was.
Right. But I guess what I mean is, you really never tried to find out more from your mother.
I always had this sense that it wasn't something she could discuss. There was a heaviness in the air when his name came up. She was in love with him. And then she lost him in this cataclysmic event that no one could have predicted.
That must have been unimaginably painful.
Yes. She wasn't a tragic figure, though. She carried it well. You'd never know she was in pain. And truthfully, I had such a good life with my mother and my grandmother. It wasn't like I felt he was missing.
Until now.
Until we arrived here, yes. Something about this place just makes it clear how much I've lost because of the surge.
Being here makes me wonder. If the surge hadn't happened, would I have been forced to leave home to become a weaver?
Most certainly not. You would have been a valued member of society, not an outcast. Did you have a good relationship with your mother?
I probably take more after my dad than my mum, that's for sure. But I love her all the same.
She gave you a good life then.
Oh, the best. It was hard to leave it behind.
My mother and I had our ups and downs throughout my life too. As daughters get older, we understand our mothers better.
Any chance our mothers understand us better with age too?
She'll come around to the weaving, if that's what you're worried about. She loves you after all.
She does. I know that much.
Bryn, I have to say, I'm a little concerned about you.
Me? Why's that?
I don't think you know what you're getting yourself into with the Enclave Council. You're not just helping them, you're diving headfirst into their political affairs.
Lane, if I can fight an Archon 10 times my size, I can handle a little bureaucracy.
That's exactly my point. I was raised in the midst of political schemes and intrigue. There's always something unsaid or underhanded at play beneath the surface. Just be careful. That's all.
You won't find Aurea's father running amid statues, you know. What do you mean?
You know what's most likely to get in the way of tracking down one's lineage? Family. A scholar wants to trace a family line to find connections between key historical figures? No problem. A living relative wants to find their great-grandfather using some oh-so-precious family heirloom? What a headache.
Why?
A scholar is objective. They have no emotional attachment to the family line, no sense of self wrapped up in the results of their study.
And you're saying Aurea does?
I'm saying she needs to expand her search beyond Weaver heroes. She's not searching for family there, she's seeking identity. And without objectivity, her search will turn up nothing.
Aurea did jump into this with preconceived ideas about who her father is. I can see how that might cause problems.
It most certainly will if she doesn't come around to the idea that her father may not live up to her expectations.
I'll keep that in mind.
Food for thought, at least. One of the greatest tragedies of the Surge is the loss of stories. The Enclave might not be that old, but with so many dead to the Surge-born, their memories most certainly died with them.
I can understand that.
Oh?
My parents' generation tend to stay quiet around the fire. Whatever stories Khanhanders had were beaten out of us by public lashings and prison camps. And we haven't had time since independence to start telling new ones.
Ah, yes. Bryn of Carnhaven. I almost forgot.
Wait, like what Dom called me? You were listening?
I always am. Habit-born of a Udean upbringing, I suppose. But, yes. I suppose the similarities are there, aren't they? A population whittled down by catastrophe. Stories lost. Did you ever have the urge to press a little harder? To try and learn just one or two stories? Even if it was painful for the person telling them?
Honestly, in that case, I'm happy to let the past lie. If I didn't want to look forward, I wouldn't have left to join Aaron's Weaver Band. And I wouldn't have ended up here. So I'm here to live new stories, not to dwell on the past.
I understand the drive. But do you think perhaps you might have been running from the grief too? Not to make assumptions, but it can't have been easy growing up in a culture steeped in such loss.
There's joy in freedom. And even though that's what independence promised, I didn't feel like I had that at home.
I understand. The physical chains are gone, but the mental binds remain. Perhaps our presence can help the denizens of the Enclave avoid the same trap.
I hope so.
I took a break from work earlier to watch you on the scry. The way you take down those giant beasts, it's breathtaking. Poetry in motion, even. If you weren't already journaling your exploits, I'd be dedicating page upon page to them.
I don't get to see myself from the outside very often.
Alas, if only I were an accomplished artist.
Too bad. I want to see what I look like when I'm solving puzzles and breaking through the Enclave's magical defenses.
Oh, well, I'll admit, watching you screw up your face in concentration while you're trying to solve a problem is...
Go on.
Never mind. Sorry to bother.
It might sound callous, but I'm a little disappointed in the Hearthsiders.
They're in worse shape than any of us expected.
They've done so little to repair the wonders that surround them. How can a society once renowned for its genius become so far removed from their own innovations? It makes me question if they were ever as great as we all believe they were, or if it was just...
Some myth to keep Weavers going after the Surge.
Exactly. Something for us to believe in, whether or not it was true.
There is probably a mix of truth and legend in our stories of the Enclave. Nothing's black and white. Isn't that always the case in history?
Yes, I suppose this could have been expected, but it's rare we have a chance to confront history in person like this. I'm just not sure what to think anymore.
That wasn't exactly the warmest welcome. I'm guessing the Enclave Council isn't your biggest fan right now.
Not a great first impression, but I can bring them around.
Even the Eye. He seemed pretty peeved.
Hey, if I can help his people, he won't have any reason to hate me.
Whatever the Council thinks of you, I'm glad you're trying to help them. I think they could really use it.
Yeah, they don't seem to be in great shape.
Nothing our daring point can't fix.
And then, Sev and I realized we might be able to repurpose the carapace for more than just loon gates.
Uh-huh.
Purely theoretical right now, but I'm contemplating tangle-resistant gear, or even a protective layer around the caravan.
Dom, I'm a little busy trying to look over these Tarmakine schematics again. Do you mind coming back later?
Oh, okay. You're right. We can discuss theoretical magic anytime. I'll leave you to your work.
Oh. Hey, Bryn.
Everything all right? Things between you and Dom seem off lately.
Yeah, a bit. I'm not sure he understands what my work on the Tarmakine smithing techniques means to me.
Have you told him how you're feeling?
It feels like he's so wrapped up in his own discoveries that he's not hearing me.
He is easily distracted, but maybe you should try again. If there's one thing I know about Dom, it's that he loves you. He must care about your feelings.
Then why isn't he asking about them? Sorry, this isn't on you. I'm just frustrated. I need to do more than just tell him what Tarmakine means to me.
How so?
I need to show him. By investigating Tarmakine practices, maybe I can make some headway on restoring these techniques. Then he'll understand.
Hey, I'm always down to investigate lost knowledge, especially in the name of love.
You'll help me?
Of course.
Amazing. I'll ask the Axel if she knows anything about Tarmakine smithing in the Enclave.
Great idea. I'll meet you at Cassidon's Hold. So, what were you speaking to the Eye about?
Nothing. I don't want to talk about it.
I didn't mean to pry. I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
You want to know if I'm okay?
Yes?
Then how come no one is at all concerned with the fact we can't leave? This isn't my life. Traveling with the Weaver Band was supposed to be temporary. For me, at least. There are things I should get back to in Tarza. And it's increasingly clear no one has any idea when I will. If ever. So no, I'm not okay.
I'm so sorry. I had no idea you were feeling this way. You're right.
I am?
The truth is, we don't know how or when we're getting out of here. But if you want to leave, we should have made that more of a priority. Or at least made you feel more heard. So we'll work on it. Promise.
Really? What's the catch?
No catch. Apprentice or full-time weaver, what's important to you is important to all of us.
I don't know what to say. But thanks.
Making yourself at home?
Yes. I've always wanted my own ruined fountain. I don't want to presume, but being here is a nice break from all the politics.
And the Eye is okay with that?
I convinced him I would be keeping an eye on you. Frankly, I think he's just glad to be rid of me. I ask the kind of questions that make him uncomfortable. You know, tough ones like, how? And why exactly?
Lucky for you, Oria loves when people ask those questions. Welcome to the camp, Eric. We're glad to have you, and your insight on the Hearthsiders.
You still call us that?
Yeah, but it's more bitter these days. Surge and all. Maybe together we can fix that.
Let's.
How are you settling in, Eric? Things going well?
Good. Yeah, they're fine.
Just good?
No, not really. Something's going on at the hold, and it's making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. The Eye publicly scorched you for opening up Asylum, and yet I've heard him telling the Spindle that this could be a good thing. Meanwhile, the runners are stretched paper thin keeping supplies moving. Which, of course, leaves my people no time to deal with actual threats.
I'm sure your scouts are doing good work, but we can't leave problems unsolved. So, point me at the problem and let's see if we can't make it go away.
Really? Oh, dancing winds, where to start? No, wait, I know. The Spitfires. A particularly aggressive group seems set on spreading through Denevron. In particular, they're building nests in some areas I was hoping to use as training grounds, but we had to pull out due to the risk.
Would the areas be safe if I took care of the nests?
Yes, though the nests are very durable. They will turn brittle if you get them cold enough.
Consider it done. Anything else?
Maybe an odd request. Could you ask Oria if I could power the scry while you're tackling them?
Why not ask her yourself?
I feel like I have a lot to learn from Oria and how she works with you. And it's strangely intimidating to admit that to her directly.
She is a force of nature. I get it. I'll ask.
Thanks again for offering to talk to Oria for me. It's genuinely exciting to learn from someone new for once. Our community's pretty insular.
Hi, Oria. I am here on behalf of Arakim.
That's weirdly formal. Everything all right?
He finds you intimidating. Personally, I don't see it, but I thought I'd be extra polite for his sake.
He does. Good. What does he want?
He's wondering if he could power the scry while I run an errand for him. He's hoping you'll give him tips.
Happily. But feel free to tell him I was a bit scary, to keep him on his toes.
Good news. Ori is absolutely willing to give you pointers on the scry. She joked I should play up her scary side, but honestly, she's an incredible mentor. You'll be fine.
I've coordinated lots of operations from Cassidy's hold, but I never had much formal training. More self-taught. A chance to learn from someone with decades of experience is an incredible opportunity. I'll be there with you then, when you get close to the nests. They're in the Bastion's yard and Envoy's Landing in Upper Denevron.
Before Asylum, all the loom gates were reset so that the Surgeborn couldn't use them to continue spreading. How did you reconnect to the city?
We tracked down a key swatch to Denevron. Found it in the mayor's home in Poldervale.
Your band is quite resourceful.
Dam loves discussing magical theory. He would be thrilled to speak with the Enclave's leading enchantress.
That is tempting. But the Eye wouldn't be pleased if he caught me speaking to your band any more than I have to. No offense, but I should really get back to work.
Excuse me, but Arakim mentioned you're the Spindle, a leading representative for the High Arcanists.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
We wanted to formally introduce ourselves. I'm Aurea, as you know. This is Dam, our enchanter, and Bryn, our acting point.
We didn't catch your name earlier. Khan?
Just call me Isla. Is there something I can help you with?
We'd actually like to help you. Apparently you want to restore the Arks.
Shh! Not so loud. Sorry, that sounds wonderful, but the Eye won't be happy about us collaborating.
Pooling resources and sharing knowledge is hardly a bad thing. Why would the Eye be upset about us trying to help you?
It's complicated. Anyway, I do want to fix the Arks. More than anything. I just need you to be quiet about it.
Okay. We'll try, but forgive us if our excitement bubbles over and we forget.
It's Dam. He's the one that might forget.
We know that the Arks began malfunctioning after the surge. A select few were even sabotaged. Any idea on what caused the other malfunctions?
Some theories, but nothing solid. Anyone who knew how to create arcs, let alone fix them, died before I was born. I've tinkered with an inactive arc that's lying near the Grand Gate, but it would make a world of difference if I could study a resonance that was freshly harvested from a great arc's pattern.
Consider it done.
Bryn's got you covered. She has a knack for harvesting great archons.
You'll have it in no time.
If you're sure, I certainly would appreciate it. With discretion, of course.
Right.
We've been talking a while. You'd better go.
All this wreckage scattered throughout the room. Why haven't you guys cleaned it up?
Khan Stanild ordered us not to.
And that's because he wants to keep it messy?
Correct. Speaking frankly, my impression is that he wanted any visitors to feel as if we were still in a major state of crisis. Though visitors are few and far between. Upper government officials only, all of whom are working from offices with roofs. We are the lucky few over here, it seems. What a privilege it is to work in a building that is open to the weather. I understand the motivation of wanting to wait until we'd found everyone a place to live. But we achieved that 20 years ago. Thousands of survivors rehomed. And yet, I still have to step over puddles to get to my desk. Bryn, you brought your talented smith. To what do I owe the pleasure?
I was wondering if you might have any information on Tarmakind smithing practices within the Enclave.
I'm not well versed in Tarmakind myself, but I recall one smith who hoped to make the techniques more widespread prior to the surge. You could try searching the Guild district in Hydenevron for a registry.
Sola is actually hoping to restore the lost art herself. Anything else I could look for that might help her?
The Smithing Guild also had an extensive library. You might find a tome on Tarmakind that could be useful while you're there.
Thank you so much.
I admire your ambition. What you're hoping to achieve is no small feat.
If anyone can do it, it's Sola.
I don't know about that.
I can believe it. Good luck in your endeavors.
I am simply telling you, as the foremost leader of the Enclave, that I don't want you getting distracted.
Can you clarify what you mean by that?
You know exactly what I mean. Eyes down, know your place. Focus on your own problems. Organize your little craftspeople. Keep the wheels of civilized society greased. And don't dare to presume you know better than me.
If you have a problem with my performance, you are welcome to gather feedback from the people who elected me. They may have a clearer understanding of what I bring to the table.
We'll continue this conversation later.
Khan Atme. Allow me to formally introduce you to Bryn, the Weaver Band's point.
You're the Axel, right? Arakim says you're a good person to know.
I am. My given name is Haroon, as Arakim said, but you may refer to me as Khan Atme. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, despite the circumstances. And I wish they were better circumstances. The new Surgeborn threat requires us to realign our priorities. Some are a little slower on that than others.
If there's anything we can do to move things along, I'm at your disposal.
What about the supply shortage? I've seen her in combat. She's better than any of us.
What's her help look like? I'd prefer if she could avoid unleashing another apocalypse on us.
We didn't bring a lot with us, but if there's anything we can provide to you, our courtmaster, Casmin, will be happy to help. A decade working the maiden shipping lanes turned her hard as Khan steel.
She sounds lovely. But unfortunately, we're supplying 10,000 people, not 7 weavers and their pack beast. And I doubt you'd have enough on your caravan to make much of a difference. Fortunately, there's a silver lining to your Surgeborn mess that could solve the problem.
Count me in.
Right. With the Surgeborn unleashed, we're anticipating casualties and damage to our facilities. However, there's a restricted area in the underworks that we lost access to decades ago when the Eye sealed it. The Institute. An arcane laboratory where the Enclave conducted its enchantment research, among other projects. Inside the Institute lies a significant supply cache. Its contents will be enough to keep us going, for the time being. If the notes the previous Axel left me are accurate, though, there's an additional complication.
Of course.
The Surgeborn secure territory by building structures, akin to insect hives. The Institute is likely overrun with them, and has been for 20-odd years.
So, the Surgeborn are a long-standing threat to the Enclave.
I wish I were old enough to remember what it was like to live without the fear of the Surgeborn. As a child, I sat awake every night worrying about them. They were terrifying. Knowing what I know now, I should have been even more scared.
I'm sorry you went through that. It must have been horrible.
Thank you.
All the more reason to actually do something about the problem, instead of spending our lives cowering behind the walls of our glorious fortress.
You'll hear no disagreement from me, now that the game board has been upended.
Sounds like I need to clear any Surgeborn hives from the Institute, then.
That'll thin them out enough that my scouts will be able to access the supply cache without much trouble.
Now that Asylum is lifted, we should be able to access the loom gates in the Institute again. I'm going to trust you with this key swatch. It's been gathering dust for over 25 years.
Only the Eye would let such a crucial resource sit there for that long.
Yes. If we're clear on everything, I'll get back to work. My list of obligations grows by the minute. Someone has to keep this goddamn fortress running.
Let's talk in your camp. I can speak freely there.
So, you.
Me?
The one causing trouble. The one poking into corners. The one who hasn't the good sense to leave well enough alone.
Had you allowed Arakim to reach out to us sooner, this could have been avoided.
Arakim has a proven record of poor judgment on matters of protocol. I will not be lectured by the person who put us all at risk on how best to handle our security. But I'm being impolite. Let us start afresh, shall we? Please, share what you hope to accomplish by loitering around the hold.
Before we met, it was clear from my exploration of Denevron that you have sourcing issues. Your lack of production capacity was obvious. We can help with your shortages.
A caravan of 7 is going to supply a fortress of thousands. What's next? You'll turn water into Sansa mead? Though you are correct. Sourcing has been a consistent problem since even before we abandoned the capital. We have hundreds of trained scouts, but wooden swords and paper shields are hardly going to mount an offensive. So despite certain assertions that we must do something, we lack the tools with which to make any great strides.
Like it or not, I'm here to help.
The Enclave stands on a blade's edge. Stretch our resources too thin on risky ventures and we face collapse. Certain elements of our population call for action, for bold purpose. And I ask you, what purpose is bolder than survival?
Well,
Purely rhetorical. We must survive, and we must make considered, careful moves if we are to do so. There is no sacrifice too great towards that goal. You, at least, understand the precarity of our situation. Now understand the necessity of our caution.
I do, but...
Thank you for your time. You may go.
but...
You may go.
Oria's father is unlikely to be a Casil woman. Besides, when it comes to nurturing parental figures, Ramanos's shrewd eye for politics isn't what comes to mind. What's your history here? Have you been the Axel for a long time?
Why do you care?
You seem like someone who deliberately underplays her hand. I'd hate to play a game of Panjal against you.
All right. I'll take that as a compliment. I was elected to this seat 8 years ago. I've done a good enough job to be re-elected.
So, what does an Axel do all day?
It varies. Some of my predecessors have been very hands-on, as befits a representative of the physical trades. That's not my strong suit, though. So I end up with my beak buried in paperwork. Maintaining supply lines, as it turns out, is considered extremely helpful.
How's your working relationship with the Eye? Is he your superior?
He would like to think so. His seat casts the final vote when the council cannot make a decision.
But his seat has more power than that.
Khan Stanield wields power beyond the traditional bounds of the Eye's seat, yes. But he is our savior, so surely he must know better than any of us. Which is to say, he is technically the highest ranked official in the Enclave. But he hasn't faced an election in decades. In contrast, I have, let's call it, popular support.
What made you decide to run for leadership?
My predecessor was incompetent and took bribes. The guild members tolerated it for a time, but eventually enough was enough. The Eye never seemed to have a problem with it, though.
Do you think he's taking bribes?
You really aren't afraid of asking dangerous questions, are you? I personally haven't seen any evidence of his corruption. He believes in his own judgment too much to accept a bribe. It's easier to bribe the lower-level guild members anyway.
Isn't that a bad thing?
The wheels of society must needs be greased. If they do any more than skim a little off the top, I'll come down hard on them. And that's why I've managed to keep my job. Well, part of why, anyway.
That all makes sense. Thanks for taking a moment to talk. Aurea thinks her father could have a statue in the Enclave just like her mother. So, I'm looking for a male Oberon that fits our timeline. The Guild District. I should look for tomes on the Tarmakine smithing style, and a registry of guild members here. Tarmakind Smithing, a compendium on vented metalwork. Sola will love this. This appears to be a registry of smiths. It's dated prior to the retreat to Cassidy's Hold. There's one Tarmakind smith, Xavier Nibrayov. Looks like he had a workshop in the Iron Walk.
You're getting close now. Watch for the flames. You'll have the edge, as the cold air will keep their flames from spreading. You'll need to freeze the hives. They're spongy and resistant to damage unless you can make them brittle.
That's more like it. Work with the scry.
As impressive as Auria's lineage may be, we're 200 years off the timeline for Arden to be her father. Not to mention the lack of feathers. Auria, this must be the statue of your mother that the spindle mentioned.
One of the greatest enchantresses of her time.
That's a lot to live up to.
I'm pulling you. Brace for it.
A frost strand. Happy to weave that into your mantle.
This statue does depict an Oberon, but it's impossible to tell who it is.
Maybe there's another statue that isn't damaged.
I'll keep looking around the city. Not much of this building left. Looks like it's my lucky day. This tome's titled Disordered Thinking and Mental Anguish. Looks this. An insert says, a herbalist in the market found success treating a variety of patients suffering from these types of afflictions. Better search the market next. A ledger belonging to the herbalist that owned this stand. There are notes on all kinds of afflictions, both physical and mental, that were treated here. Looks like they asked one patient with symptoms similar to Kaz to keep a diary during treatment. I wonder if I could track it down. He lived in the lower city.
Small frost magic.
A diary. The man it belonged to details all his anxieties and intrusive visions. I wonder if Casmin could relate to him. It's hard to think about her experiencing all this alone. He mentions that he also sought help at the Hallow Pyre Rise. I should check the temple for more information.
Isn't that the same Oberon statue you found in the atrium?
Maybe if I burn the vines, I'll be able to see who it is. Matteo Agretius, known for his acts of bravery following the Surge. Could this be your father, Aurea?
Perhaps. Arakim might know how to confirm.
Xavier's workshop should be up ahead. Solid and sturdy. Not made for traveling like Solar's. Xavier's diary. From a quick skim, it doesn't look like he was a particularly happy man. Another set of schematics. This is sure to put a smile on Solar's face.
the discoveries we can glean from your findings are incredible, Bryn. This schematic is much more complicated than the previous one, though. And I'm starting to realize why Tarmakind is a lost art.
What do you mean?
Xavier used a traditional forge because he needed to reach much higher temperatures to work the signature Tarmakind vents. Unfortunately, my forge is built for transport. It's unable to sustain those higher temperatures.
Could we improve it?
Dom had that idea of a set of enchanted hammers. They, combined with the forge, might be enough heat.
He'll be glad to hear it.
Could you maybe get him to enchant them on my behalf?
Why? I'm sure he'd be thrilled to help you.
I know. We're just not on the same page right now. I'd rather be further in my investigation before I speak to him. Besides, he mentioned he'd need some cinder linen for the enchantment, and I was thinking you could scavenge some for us.
All right. This is a little strange, but I guess I can talk to him for you.
Thanks.
Hey, Dom. Sola was wondering if you could enchant a set of hammers after all. She's finally ready to use them.
Of course, but why isn't she asking me to do it herself?
She's been a bit busy with the Tarmakind stuff she's working on.
Right. I'm happy to enchant the hammers. I'll need cinder linen to do it, though. Do you have any on you?
As a matter of fact, I do. Here.
Perfect. I've still got some of the byproduct from your drake harvest as well. I'll enchant them right away. Do you think I should be the one to bring them to Sola? Or would she prefer that you do it?
Why don't you bring them? This Tarmakind project is really important to her, and I think it would mean a lot if you helped out.
You're right. She's the love of my life, after all. I'm happy to help. But maybe you could join me? After all, you're the one she's been entrusting the details of her work to. Maybe she'd rather you be there.
I could come, if you really think that's best, but it kind of seems like the two of you should...
Great, it's settled. We'll both go.
Yeah. Okay.
This isn't working. The forge isn't hot enough.
I've stoked the forge before.
No, this work is somewhat more precise. It's not all bad news. I can forge a set of Tarmakind arms now. I'll give you the design. But the remaining pieces are too large to make without reaching the temperatures that Xavier was able to at his forge.
Sola, it's all right. We can figure this out. Maybe we need something stronger than cinder linen to augment the hammers.
No, enchanting isn't the solution. Sev and I need to head into Denevron to get Xavier's forge. It's built for this.
And it's exceptionally heavy. You and Sev are strong, but do you really think you'll be able to get it back here?
We have to try.
My love, I know this is important to you, but do you think Xavier's forge is a long-term solution? The caravan won't be able to carry it. You'll need to leave it behind when we start traveling again.
I don't want to keep traveling. I want to settle down. I want to stay in one place. I want a home.
But we're weavers. Our home is the open road. Traveling is what we do.
It doesn't have to be.
Staying in one place, it's not the life we decided on for ourselves.
It's not the life I thought I could have. But here, in the Enclave, it's possible. We could be weavers and stay. You could enchant, I could teach smithing. I could unravel the Tarmakind techniques and pass them on to a new generation.
You've clearly spent a great deal of time thinking this through. Without me. It's not what I planned for myself, though. Or even a life I want, for that matter.
But we're married. If we don't want the same life, where does that leave us?
I don't know.
Maybe I should give you two some privacy to talk this out.
It's fine, Bryn. Clearly, Sola would rather speak to you about her hopes and dreams than me. Maybe it's best if we take some time apart. I'll go.
Fine.
Sola, are you...
I don't even know what just happened. I can't believe he just... left.
He was caught off guard. It will be okay, I promise.
I don't know anymore.
You're seriously telling me Carnhaven is now completely independent from Sansa?
Bryn's parents fought in the war.
Wow. I guess it makes sense that I...
How you doing, Sola? That discussion with Dom was a little rough.
I'm frustrated and hurt. I feel like I don't ask for much, and when I finally do, he acts mystified.
He absolutely could have handled that better. But I think he was genuinely caught off guard.
How is that possible? I feel like I've been trying to tell him for ages. Or hint at it, at least.
Maybe that was the first time he really understood, though.
Maybe. I just need some time. And space.
I don't know if space is the best.
I can't have that conversation again right now. Especially if you won't consider... Never mind.
Arik, about those statues in Upper Denevron.
You mean the Friends of the Eye?
No, I was talking about the champions.
Ha! Some of them, maybe. But you could be the most heroic weaver in the world, and unless you're cozying up to leadership, there's no statue being built in your honor.
Huh.
Anyway, what do you want with them?
Well, we're wondering if there could be a familial connection between someone in our band and one of the figures represented on the statues.
You could dive through the archives we've preserved in Casten's Hold on all our heroes. That's the slow, boring way.
Don't let Lane hear you say that.
Or you can compare mantles to see if their patterns are a match.
You can tell two people are related through their mantles?
The spindle could tell you more about the science behind it. But from what I understand, there are similarities across bloodlines in how a weaver's cloth pulls magic from the air. A pattern tracer allows us to analyze those similarities between two weavers' patterns. I'll give you a design for it. Once it's built, take it to the Axle and she'll trace the mantles for you. We've preserved mantles belonging to all our heroes in Cassidy's Hold.
Thanks, Eric. Aurea will be pleased.
Aurea? For what it's worth, she's twice the weaver any of those statues might claim to be.
Sev, my moisturizing cream wouldn't happen to be by the forge, would it?
Oh, yeah.
Of course it is. Would you pass it to me when you have a moment?
Sure.
Now that we have a pattern tracer, it's time to head to Cassidy's Hold.
This is a little out of the ordinary, but the spindle gave me a key swatch. Or rather, she dropped off a letter with one enclosed on my desk in the camp. No one saw her come in or out.
Why not just hand us the key swatch at Cassidy's Hold?
According to her letter, what she's asking us to investigate is highly confidential.
So, chances she was authorized to give us this key swatch are...
Slim to none.
Where does it lead?
Starlight Cape, an island outpost that was abandoned following the surge. Strange sightings were reported from the mainland. However, the Hearthsiders couldn't afford to send scouts.
That's why the spindle thought of us.
We are notorious for probing arcane mysteries.
Why was Starlight Cape abandoned?
Winds are always stronger on the coast, and the dramatic weather following the surge made the island inhospitable. Its military personnel were redeployed as civilian relief. And though at one time a bridge connected the island to the mainland, it was destroyed in the earthquakes.
So it's only accessible by Loomgate. What kind of sightings are we talking about?
Apparently, the island's defining feature is an observatory at the top of its mountain. Over the years, several scouts had reported moving lights over the peak.
So, what do we know about Starlight Cape?
Not much. It's a small island to the Enclave's northeast, just inside the Vale. It was fortified to watch the sea lanes, though not as heavily as Cassidy's. The rocky shore was a natural barrier to landing. Though I do recall the smith in my mother's band telling me that he'd never seen a clearer night sky than at Starlight Cape. These small islands rarely have much lamplight due to the fact that so few people live on them.
Huh. Happy to check it out.
Good. Here's the key swatch.
Ah, Bryn. Hello, yes, hello, that's right, that's the correct thing to say, isn't it? Is it?
Breathe, Tom.
Yes. Yes, of course. I just, not feeling myself.
Solar?
Yes. Yes, flames, yes. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there.
I think maybe you two have some things to talk through. After a little time to cool off.
I had no idea she wants to stop traveling.
We all have to slow down sometime. We can't be on the road our whole life.
Well, yes, she had, I suppose, brought it up once or twice, but I assumed she meant later. Like our dotage.
At least it's out there now. Take a bit. Think about what she said, what she might want, and what you want. There's a way to make it work.
I shall. Yes, because I would very much like it to, as you say, work.
Arakim mentioned you wanted to compare a mantle with Matteo Agretius?
We'd like to see if he might be my father.
All right. I've set his mantle aside for you. I'll need yours too, and the pattern tracer to perform the test.
You all right?
A little nervous.
I have to say, your mantle is spectacular. Matteo's easily pales in comparison.
Oh, thank you. And, is he my father?
No, I'm sorry. It's not a match.
Oh, I see.
Hey, we'll keep looking. Maybe now it's time to talk to Lane?
You're right. We should consult with them. I just thought... Silly. I'll see you back at camp.
Isla,
Got it.
I know you're intrigued by the Ogden's lineage, but take care not to get caught up in your enthusiasm.
I won't.
The Axel mentioned you were asking about my dear friend, Matteo Agretius.
You were close?
Matteo was a great man. In the aftermath of the surge, he went back for families that couldn't evacuate to Nevron. Sadly, he passed away a few years ago. You were comparing mantles to see if there might be a family relation?
Aurea was hoping he might be her father, but it turns out he's not.
Unfortunate. What an impressive lineage she would have.
Judging from the size, it could have been a route for Archons.
Perfect. That should be the last of them. Appreciate the chance to test run your scry.
I was really hoping we'd find my father among the statues, but it's time to expand the search. You were right, Lane.
I often am. Let's build a census of male Oberon in the Enclave within a limited time frame that makes sense for your birth. Knowing your father had to have been here when the veil went up narrows our search significantly.
Time to chase a paper trail. Between the two of us, we'll find your father.
Yes.
Hey, listen.
What is it?
Statue or no statue, I'm sure your dad was every bit the hero that your mom said he was.
Our archival work might not be the most glamorous way to chase down a lost relative, but it is effective.
You're right.
Things still good with our Spitfire problem?
All handled. You did great out there. But it was quite the experience. Your scry is not at all what I'm used to. It's better, more vibrant. Anyway, sincerely, thank you for your help. If I need more, I'll know to just ask this time. Hey, Bryn. Sorry, was lost in thought. It's this scry thing. It's been bothering me.
You said it felt different from the ones you're used to.
Yours was much more intense than any we have. And I need to know why. Have we overused them? I don't think so. Yours is at least as old and clearly has seen good service.
That does seem strange.
Yeah, I went digging through everything I could find about the scries. I'm sure the Eye has records he won't share with me. Or anyone, really. But I still found a lead.
A sudden burst of bureaucratic insight.
Yes, I suppose. Shipping records for scries. There were some set to go out right around the surge.
Exports? To bands like ours?
Probably. Well, that's the problem, though. There's a lot of very specific shorthand on these manifests I just don't understand.
We should talk to Casmin. She lives and breathes shipping logistics.
I was hoping you'd suggest that. I was considering asking her myself, but...
She's a little intimidating?
No, that's Aurea. Casmin just seems busy. Always busy. And I don't want to overstep here with your crew.
We can talk to her together. Hey, Kaz. Arakim has a question.
Is that why you've been lurking around here? Bad habit, you.
Yes. I need some help puzzling out shipping manifests from before the surge.
Scries, secured export, dates. You think some scries never made it past the veil?
Doesn't it usually take some time to figure that kind of thing out?
Yes, but I'm a genius. This is what I do, Bryn. So, we should run these down. The records here aren't complete, though. They don't confirm the shipment.
Any idea how we do that?
This is where Bryn does what she does. Off the top of my head, there's 3 places we should look. Drover's Gate in the lower city is obvious. Logs will be there. Also, I imagine the Bastion would track export of any and all scries, military applications. And we should canvass the Hearthsiders. Maybe someone still alive who worked the caravans. I'd ask the Axel. She'd know who to ask. And we're not welcome in the general populace at Cassidans.
We have that in common. Impressive.
Happy to help.
Have you noticed the struggle in our new friend?
Eric, you mean?
Yes. Every part of him yearns to be serious, mature, maybe a little dangerous. But show him something new, like a properly maintained scry, and it all falls away.
Revealing...
An excited, intelligent young man who craves novelty.
Think that's why he hangs around the camp so often?
No, I know that's why. He knows he can't go back to it, but misses what you do. I wrestle with it too. I like being a watcher, but if someone handed me a potion to move back in time or be young again, well, let's say I'd give it some serious consideration. Either way, he's got a deft hand with the scry. I'll give him some pointers, but he's a natural.